My name is Stephanie Rollins. I'm in the graduate program. This is the Counseling Skills and Techniques course. This is a disclaimer that I must make before this practice counseling session. It's given that I am a student of counseling and I am not a licensed therapist. The following video is used solely for the purpose of academic practice and training. Video is for education purposes only. Hi, Martha.
Hello, Stephanie.
I was hoping that we could follow up on some of the things we've discussed previously about what has been stress triggers for you this past 6 months. And
Well, this last 6 months has been difficult. My contract ended at School of Higher Education that I'd been for 11 years, and my father was he was near death, and so that's a lot of life. And then the home I was living in, I found out that it was literally tens of thousands of bees, and I had to flee, and now I'm living someplace with a lady just out of grace. So that's a lot of stressors to come, as my sister-in-law would say, biblical proportions, and it made me laugh, which is sometimes good when you're very, very stressed. And so, the ship is beginning to right itself. We took on some water in our ballast, but we're beginning to right ourselves again. And the stressors now are just some of the mundane things that need to be done. And I'll say it, and it'll seem like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but yet it will take hours. My driver's license, I need to change that. You're going to stand in line. It will be a while, and you've got to take the proper paperwork, and finding the proper paperwork, keeping the proper paperwork, and I find that all very stressful. I need my Social Security card. I need a passport. So on top of all that, with the bee situation, I'm going to have to go to small claims court, and that is a tremendous amount of paper and life receipts. So those have been some of the stressors that I've been working with in the last 6 months.
okay, I have to ask, can you expand on the bee situation that you're...
Oh my goodness, of all the things to expand upon. In May, we would notice that there would be some bees in my dressing area. And my landlord got stung, so we began this process, and at one point there was a swarm in my house. And I literally took my cat and had what was on my back and fled to a hotel. And when they opened up the walls, because this is a 85-year-old house, and so it's built like a boat. When they had to open up the outside walls, there were 15 honeycombs that were 4 feet long. And I took the images I know, it's incredulous. I took the images to the Galveston County Master Gardener, who he just happens to be a beekeeper of 40 years. And he was looking at these images, he goes, oh, he said, beekeepers would want these hives. Oh, these are beautiful hives. And he estimated them to be anywhere between 5 and 10 years old. And you can tell in the images because the top of the honeycomb is almost black. It looks mahogany. And he said that's just from use. And I learned a lot about bees. And it was a shame that everything had to be poisoned. There should have been a way to keep that. But anyway, here's the interesting point, that when I rented this house, it was infested with roaches. And a lot of people, there's different levels of what people would call infestation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a benchmark what I think infestation is, okay? And please hold on to your seat. So I very innocently come in this house. I go, oh, don't worry, I can get rid of these roaches. I've got these great guys. I've used them for 25 years. So they come in, we spray, I clean everything up, and I go to put my food in the refrigerator, and I open it, and there's roaches in it. So I go and I clean it all up, and we spray, and I put my food in the refrigerators, and there's roaches all in it. Now I'm going to tell you this happened 3 times, and I stopped putting food in it. I stopped cleaning it. I unplugged it. And I told my landlord, who told me that people who complained, their rent went up. She's quite something else, that landlord. And so I felt like I couldn't complain about this roach-infested refrigerator. So I felt like I needed to make her laugh. And so I said, thank you so much, in the text, I'm going to take my text. Thank you so much for the world's best diet control aid. I think it's just marvelous, but I cannot take this refrigerator. It's got to leave. I'll use my own refrigerator. So she took the refrigerator and later reported to me that the reason the roaches kept getting in is because they had eaten the entire seal off the bottom of the refrigerator. That's infestation. If it's the roaches to the level where they eat the seal off of a refrigerator, that's infestation. It took from August until December till I didn't see any more roaches, and I would put food anywhere in that kitchen. And then in December, I finally relented and put dishes up. And in January, got fleas. January. And it's all because of the hive. Those hives bring all kinds of bugs and vermin. So I spent a tremendous amount of money ridding that house of its pest infestation. And it's all due to the bees. It's that honey. And they said they took down probably 50 pounds of honey. So it was quite the experience.
Do you feel this impeded on your enjoyment?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone who helped me move into the house was allergic to bees. And so I couldn't invite, I was supposed to have a huge July 4th party. I'm a very social person. I have parties quarterly. I will make up a reason to have a party. And I was supposed to have a Memorial Day or a July 4th party. Could not do it because of the bees, and everybody's allergic, and who wants to come and be a part of that? So it was very disappointing, and when I left, sure as snot, they made me pay for things that were not my fault. I mean, I had to pay for a closet door that wasn't on. Well, it wasn't on when it was askew when I got there, and I said, just leave it off and you can put it back on. And I had to pay for that door being put back on. That wasn't right.
So this is what's precipitating that lawsuit?
This is what is precipitating that lawsuit, is exactly right. So I'll pay $100. Now I will just pay $100 just to poke her and say that wasn't right. That wasn't right. Or really, you're gonna charge me for that? Well,
who?
The landlord's going to charge me $120 to put that door back on.
Oh, right.
Took it out of my what is that called?
A deposit.
Deposit.
Mm-hmm.
So then maybe she should be responsible for paying for the hotel that I had to live in, and maybe responsible for having all my moving, because I wasn't going to move. I mean, I think I found gainful employment. I don't believe I would have had to even skip a payment.
Are you prepared for the stress that may cause, or to follow this?
Yeah, just to tie it
okay.
up. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I can see your perspective. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I just gotta get all the paperwork done for it. Gotta go figure out what's reasonable and what's not reasonable. In other words, is it reasonable for her, let's say with the bee situation, and I take her to small claims court, is it reasonable for me to have a per diem for food? And I need to look at my electric bill and see if all the work they did was on my dime. Well, then they owe me for electricity. And I believe that the electricity, I believe they chart that electricity. I believe I can find a chart for it. But again, it's one of those things you can say, I can find a chart for the electricity, but we are talking about 30 minutes or 3 hours. Who knows? You know, it's all just getting everything done with the time that you have.
So you've got some homework to do.
Every day, all day long.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being able to discuss some of these personal
Sure,
things.
sure. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.